Hello, it is the week 4 edition of the Monster Pod here on thelines.com. Joined by Connor Allen, 4 for 4 of you. Sunday night football, Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. This is 2.5 in favor of the Ravens. 46.5 is our total. And Connor, this is a very interesting Sunday night football game because you have the Bills who have looked like absolute world beaters and looked like maybe one of the, if not the best teams in all of the NFL, coming in as underdogs against a Ravens team that I think you could nitpick pretty hard from what we've seen through the first couple of weeks of the season. Super interesting game on Sunday night.
Yeah, I bet Bills money line here is one of my favorite bets of the week. And part of this has to do with this Ravens defense specifically. So we saw Joe Brady, who's largely been like a run-heavy offensive coordinator throughout his time, with the Bills. Last week they come out 32 dropbacks, 7 running back carries before the 2-minute warning in the first half. And this is before like the game. It was like 34-7 or something at that point. And now you get a team that's like one of the biggest pass funnels in the league. Number 1 rushing success rate allowed, second run to EPA. They've played mostly bad running offenses, but their pass defense, 24th in dropback success rate, 26th in dropback EPA. Like, this is one of the biggest, in my opinion, like discrepancies here. Like, if they go pass heavy, like Josh Allen is going to cook. Like, I took Josh Allen over 228. I think his alter in play like 260, 300, especially if we get any pushback here from the Ravens, which again, the market's 2.5. Like, there are smart people on the Ravens. I don't see it, but that leads me to believe that I'm probably missing something, or the Ravens are going to have success on offense, which is very possible. And so I think that the overs in this game are just like a slam dunk for me. If they go run heavy, I mean, just fire Joe Brady into the sun. I mean, this is another one that I'm like, like I would be shocked to see that happen.
I'm with you 100%. Like, I'm willing to be proven wrong, and I'm willing to come back with hat in hand and say like, okay, I just missed out on that. But I have a lot of questions about the Baltimore team, and I have very few questions about Buffalo. And then the other thing, Steven, and this is something that I said last year about Baltimore, and I think it's even more in play this year, is they need to be front runners, man. Like, and if Buffalo comes out and jumps out ahead of these guys, like, and gets them out of what they really want to do, I am A-okay if you're putting us in a situation that Lamar has to throw 45 times to like keep this close, where Mark Andrews obviously is not right. He's only running, like, he played 20% of the snaps or something last week or something like that. So like, he's not healthy. There's all kinds of stuff I think that you could poke a hole in here on the Ravens side of things. I get it. It's a home game, and it's a home game at night, and that does give the team at least a little bit of juice, but I like the Bills here.
I do too. I found a +3 -120 earlier this week. Again, get in our Discord, sign up for the notifications. I'd still bet +2.5 here if you have a little more risk tolerance. I think money line's in play as well. I agree with both of you guys. The most encouraging thing for me was not so much that they scored a bunch of points and blew out the Jaguars. It was how they did it. The assumption we had about Joe Brady coming into the year is that he was going to be run heavy no matter what. And the matchup last week against a pretty solid Jags defensive line and a terrible secondary was not to run it a ton, but to throw it a lot. And they scripted a lot more passing plays than they did running plays. The fact that he was flexible in his game planning and his play calling was by far the most encouraging thing for me in this Bills team any given week moving forward, that I now have the confidence that they're going to maximize their opportunities and their matchups no matter who they're playing. So that's fantastic. And if that's the case, Connor, then I do think Josh Allen's going to throw the ball a lot. The other thing, too, here is more of like a betting market philosophical thing, Matt. I've heard a lot of talking points this week about people who are betting the Ravens because they're selling high on the Bills. I'm going to sell high on the Bills because they've reached the top of, near the top of their market rating and their market opinion. You can have that opinion, but price still matters. And this line, to me, if you take away home field advantage, is telling me that the Ravens are either equal or slightly better than the Buffalo Bills. How can that be selling high on the Bills? How can that be the top of the market rating after what we've seen a couple of the weeks? That makes no sense to me. That the opinion and the price do not add up here. The price still matters. In my opinion, this is still getting a good price on the Buffalo Bills. And even if the bet loses, I'll feel good about the price because they cannot be the same or an underdog to the Ravens on a neutral field after what we've seen the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, this offense absolutely humming. It is the number one overall DVOA team. It is the number one overall DVOA offense. It's the number one overall offense in EPA. It is the number one overall pass offense, EPA. I mean, like, the offense has just been so good. And I think Brady just keeps doing what works. I know that we beat him up a little bit in past gigs and stuff like that. But I mean, I go back to when he was at LSU and he basically just like, oh, I've got all these awesome players. I should probably just let these awesome players do what they do every single time. And they put up one of the most prolific offenses in the history of college football. I can't imagine you see through the first 3 weeks of the season how awesome things have gone and go, yeah, but maybe it's going too good. Let's rein it back in a little bit. Like, no, man, just keep doing what you're doing and go out there and put up a bunch of points, a bunch of yards. And so I'm going to listen. The assumption of rational coaching has cost me a lot of money over the course of the years. So we'll see, whatever. I'll assume rational coaching and then I'll come back on here next week and go, yeah, look at that. I'm such an idiot, but it is what it is. Guys, as always, everything we do absolutely free. So please hit that subscribe button. Do appreciate you hanging out. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section what game stood out to you. What did we miss? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Let's be frank. You're only going to put what you disagree with in there. That's fine. Just tell us what you disagree with and tell us that we're idiots and all that. And we'll go in. We'll read them for sure. Don't think Steven doesn't go back in the comments because we made a clean sweep on Thursday night when everyone was calling us idiots. And Steven went in there and did a little poking of the bear. So it's just a little poking of the bear. Just a little poking of the bear in that. And of course, if you have not already, go in. Check out all the great work Connor and company are doing over at 4 for 4. It is literally not only sports betting, but great fantasy stuff, DFS stuff, and great projection systems that you're going to want to use in your process. So be sure and put that to play over there for Connor. For Steven, I'm Matt. Good luck on all your week 4 bets.